Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Wevo Championship for race 9 at the Nurburgring. It's the final race of the championship and Ray is going to join us for commentary as we take a quick look at the current standings. Ray, Demon R and SRI 4 points between them and SGP only 1 point further back, so we've got a three-way battle for the championship here, Ray.
Yeah, I think it's more a battle for second place, but we'll see how it goes.
Maybe.
And then we'll get Steve F1 kinda in his own wee world, and then it can all change from there downwards.
Yeah, fifth down. I mean, fifth to ninth there's 10 points between them, and that could change around quite dramatically. And let's not forget, the final standings of this championship will have a direct impact in the next championship. So it's going to be crucial as to where everybody finishes in this championship. I mean, even Jimmy, if he can score 8 more points than Gary, he jumps up a place. And Gary only needs to outscore Rich by 14 points. That might be a little bit big of an ask, but you never know what could happen in the wet.
Jimmy will be hoping Gary's got an update to the...
Well, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Nurburgring in the wet, we know it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a grey one, isn't it? That's pretty much the feature that we saw from all the practice sessions around the Nurburgring, and there we go, just on time. It's grey here at the Nurburgring. So, Ray, would you like to start taking us through the grid?
Yeah, just like the championship order, you're saying you get Demon R on pole, and followed by SRI. What's the racing line? I wonder who's going to get away quicker. And in third place, SGP. And then fourth, we've got Steve F1. No numbers don't match up, by the way.
They do.
Thank God, I'm using my fingers.
They're motorbike numbers as well. Look, fifth is Nelly.
Yeah.
Then,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, 14th, and then sixth is Twilight. I knew these would get you. Who's in seventh, yes.
Ray? That's Hay. Hay in seventh, and then we'll get Marty Pello in eighth, and then we've got the Flying Swede in ninth, Jason, and then we've got Art Pal down in 10th.
Yeah.
And then Rich Blues 11th, followed by Gary, Update Gary, don't know what position, I've lost it, and then Jimmy
in 13th. Well done, tricky one that. Okay, so as has been the theme of this championship, we're going to start in the wet as we are now at 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go, and it looks like everybody's got away nicely. Demon R moving across straight away to cover off SRI, and I think we mentioned it last week, didn't we, Ray, that this is going to be the slippiest of the races, and SRI shows that straight away, going deep at 1 and losing a position.
That's what SRI didn't need to do.
That is true,
for this championship, so he's let his main arrival through for second place, as it was seems still sliding about.
Yeah, very nearly got up alongside SGP into the left-hander of the little chicane, but unfortunately, going up the inside there is very, very slippy. As now side by side, Steve F1 and no, it's SRI repassing SGP around the outside. And that is where drivers will find grip in these conditions in every corner around the outside, especially down at this banked hairpin, won't they, Ray?
Yeah, the one inside the line is just going to be slippery as hell. Oh, how did he stop that?
He got it stopped because on the inside line, you're on the brakes. Oh, a big spinneroonie. We've got Jason round, critical round. I think Gary might have got round as well. So Art Powell braked on the inside down into the hairpin, but it was in the middle of the corner where he suddenly started going a bit wide as Gary gets a bit wobbly. Didn't exactly see what caused that big spin there, Ray. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I don't see it. I'm too busy taking a drink.
I don't blame you. Okay, so connotations then, as we saw from the standings, 4 points, DMR to SRI, 5 points, DMR to SGP. So for SRI or SGP to win the championship, they need to outscore DMR by more than 5 points, basically for both of them. So let's see how that goes. Oh, that goes very left. Ooh, he's done well to stop that there. Well done. Nicely done. Nice recovery.
I think he was trying to just power it round and then realised he was going towards the traffic and just slammed on the brakes as we've got side-by-side action. Rich Blues and Jimmy and Jason and I don't know who the other car was. It might be Gary.
It might be Gary. Rich Blues up the inside. He'll have more grip. So will Jason. But when they get to the apex, now it's going to get slippier. This is where you want to be sort of wide left. But then up here, you want to be wide right, where Jason is trying to go around the outside. And I think you'll get that done. But then it's tricky, because do you want to go on the inside here? No, you actually want to stay on the outside. But Gary's got Steve into the Swede and turned him into a mashed one.
Yeah. Can you send me some from the haggis?
I could do. Would you like some neeps and tatties with it as well? Okay, so...
Well, neat is turnip sweet.
Yeah. Oh, Rich Blues. Yeah, Rich Blues got very sideways there. And for the viewers, you can see now as well exactly what we're on about with it being very grey here at the Nurburgring. Rich will actually have the grip of the inside here, but Nelly's got the outer line, and that's where you really want to be. Rich is going to get sideways here. Jason might as well. Little wobble, and that will be the key features that will happen if you're on the racing line.
Right outside up here, it's going to be tricky. Oh, good. Right, go for a switch.
Let's try it, but Jason's up the inside.
Yeah. I thought Jason was going to burn draft Rich first. Jimmy!
Wow, Jimmy's wide. Jason got wide. He may have been assisted wide. Jimmy's wobbling all over the place. Steve F1 now very close to the back of SGP. Actually, looking at trying to make the move. Yeah, up the inside. He's looking, but I don't know. Well, you do actually want to be on the inside here. And then be careful through the chicane. And then try and not be on the racing line. And get sideways like SGP did there. Now looking at the weather radar, right, it doesn't look like the weather is easing up at all as we are 4.5 minutes into the final race of the championship.
No, it doesn't look like it's easing up at all. It's a bit wet, you know. Leave F1's just dropped back a little bit as we've got, who's that? Is that Artpal?
It's Artpal, yeah. Artpal just ahead of Rich. Gary on the outside. Gary had a wobble. I think he braked with the 2 wheels on the racing line there. Something I am finding quite interesting here, Ray, is that considering that we've already done 8 races, the drivers do seem to still be wanting to drive on the racing line and suffering the slippiness of it.
Yeah, or maybe they just like to slide the car.
Maybe they feel it.
I feel it in my arms. Because you're supposed to connect with the car with your else, aren't you?
Yeah, SOP. Got the SOP feeling. Okay, so SGP, yeah, so see SGP taking this wider line. It means less steering, more grip, full throttle on the exit. Nicely done. Now, admittedly, this left-right chicane, the Schumacher chicane, you kind of do have to commit to going towards the apex on both corners. There isn't really a better way through them, but there is actually quite a lot of grip here, unless you go in way too fast and find the gravel where there's loads of grip, so much so it slows you down.
I think Gary was just, his line was wrong. He was too much on the inside line, and then when you hit the actual apex of the first part of the Schumacher S's, the car just steered straight on.
Spat him straight off the track. Looking at the weather radar, looks like we've got a bit of a change in the conditions on the horizon. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, and it turns out some of the drivers didn't know, is Jimmy having a look up the inside of Arpal. Can't get them moved on. Yeah, just underneath the track map in the top right corner is an arrow and 4.4 M-S. Well, that is the wind direction that we were talking about last week, and 4.4 meters a second. I did think it might be miles a second, but 4.4 miles a second, that's some strong wind.
It's like, what was the name of that last storm that came?
SGP bumhole.
That's not stopping.
Oh, pal! Oh, yeah, there's a barrier you wouldn't usually see. Very easily done that though. Oh, it was Gary. I thought Gary was going off one. And interestingly, still looking very. It does look like we're pretty much racing in black and white, doesn't it? Apart from the fact that the odd yellow car and odd green car out there.
Yeah, I think we need to change the RGB of our TVs.
I think you might be right. Okay, looking at the pack cam, we've got SRI closing up to the back of Demon R. Steve F1 still behind SGP, but interestingly, all of the action at the moment has been in this pack where Hay now battling with Jimmy. Jimmy may run a little bit wide. Now Hay's been practicing a lot in this championship. Let's see if he's learnt the lesson of how to get round this hairpin. Jimmy kind of moved over on him a bit there. Hay going in quick. He's going to understeer. There's the understeer. Further and further away. A bump draft, a bit sideways.
There you go. He's been practicing and getting a bump draft to get past.
Just stick your arse out and wait for it to get a quick slap in. Rich Blue's just got a little bit sideways on the way into the chicane days. He's alright though. But yeah, that was a perfect example with Hay though of the being on the inside of the hairpin. Was it's absolutely fine, then all of a sudden the car just starts drifting away from the end.
Drifting away. I don't know what that song was.
No, I have no idea. Is Hayes serving a penalty? Jimmy decides to...
Went right inside.
Yeah, went for the penetration.
Gary, Rich, and free wide through the chicane. That's risky.
Yeah, I'm not sure how clean that was. I mean, it kind of looked a little bit like they were side by side way before the corner. Rich is going to understeer. She's going to understeer and get sideways. Yeah, that I must admit, I love seeing this.
It's weird because it's like an understeer and then it kicks in an oversteer and you've got to catch it pretty quick.
Oh, Gary, bit deep.
Oh,
that was close. Hey, looking for a switch back, but he got more than his switch back. He got a door.
Yep. And another door to the other side as well.
Yep, now Jimmy is going to get a bit of understeer here up the inside. Arpal sniffing around as well. It gives Jimmy a little bump draft. They're going to get wobbly here. Oh yeah, another bump draft. Oh, hello, who's that?
I don't know, who is it?
I think his name begins with C and ends in T.
No, Curtis, I was going to say, but that ends in S.
Kurt. Steve F1 battling up against SGP at the moment on the pack. I'm just looking very busy down in the pack. It just is there's been no real movement or action in these. Oh, holy cow!
Ooh, fucking hell.
5 wide into that hairpin. That's, yeah.
I like how you try not to swear and I just come out of it.
Yeah. Okay, side
This
by
is not
side.
a kids program.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Gary's been touched a little bit there. It is no square. Now with 3 wide, this could be tricky. Arpal's got it too hard. Oh,
I think you get tap as well.
it might have done. Hay gone deep as well. Got to be careful now. Returning. I mean, can you have an unsafe return to track on a car that is also returning to track?
Unsafe return to the car that is returning to track, yeah.
Okay, Steve F1's got a great run here on SGP. Yeah, up the inside, but SGP won't mind that. Take that outside line. Let's see if Steve F1 gets that wobble. Oh, whoa! That's alright, is that a wobble? Is that a big wobble?
Yeah, he's went off in the last corner. Oh, he's through valuable points away there.
Yeah, okay, Steve F1 hasn't managed to stay ahead of SGP. He has got the outside line now. It does look like the rain has definitely eased off a bit, but we're not seeing that dry line on the pack cam as these two still side by side. SGP's in the prime position here, taking that really wide line. Steve F1's going to go in, understeer a bit or a little touch. Let's see if he gets the wobble on the exit. SGP taking a wider line, look for a little switch back. Steve F1 does get a tiny wobble. Oh, not the back cam, we've got 3 wide.
A great battle here, side by side. Well, we've been near enough. Coming up to half of the lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve F1's got a position. Is SGP going to come back at him? Oh, yes.
He's trying.
He's trying.
Well, this is kind of a double whammy for SRI. Obviously, having the spinner losing a couple of places in time, but also these two battling now. He's freeing up Demon R to run away a little bit, and that drier line is now appearing on the pack cam rate.
Yeah, you can just see a wee bit of it as Twilight's in the back of SRI, and oh, excuse me. I think Steve F1's got a bit of a gap to SGP now.
I think you might be right. And so looking at this battle now, Jason with Hay right behind him. I don't know if anybody has already gone for the... Look at how Twilight's looking on the... Oh, you know what? That's Jimmy. I was going to say, I don't know if anybody's pitted, but that's Jimmy, and I think he's on slicks. Ooh, wobble!
Yeah, the wipers were still going, but there was no rain falling. I think it was just to clear the spray from the cars in front. I was trying to listen in.
I think Nelly must have done a pit stop at some point. We've not seen Nelly for a while.
Jason's in the pits.
Okay, yeah, Jason heading to the pit. Has Nelly pitted? Okay, I think we really haven't seen Nelly for quite some time. Okay, Ron Formula Gary, he's on the wets. Nelly making the move. Got Rich Blues, is it? Over to the inside. Yes, it is. He's trying to find the moisture. Now, if Nelly sticks to the drier line here, I think he's on the inters. Yeah, he is. He is. He's on the intermediate tyre, so he's already made a pit stop somewhere. Well, in the pit stop.
Oh, big slide. Hold it.
It was an assisted slide. Excuse me. That was an assisted burp.
Look at that weather map. There's still a wee bit of
weather in the air.
Yeah. And with the wind, the wind's picked up 7.6 meters per second.
Yeah, that it has. Okay, so I mean, yeah, what I was sort of going to mention a little bit about a lap ago was, are people going to try and risk it, go for any early pit stops and all that? Turns out, I believe Jimmy's on the racing hard tyres already, and Nelly has already pitted somewhere and put the inters on, and I think they're working now. I think these are like prime conditions for the inters. Whoa! They're not working anymore. Well, Critical's on the inters as well. Yeah, I think that's a situation where Critical really should be waiting for Nelly. Oh, I don't know if there's been any conversation between two. Go on.
Yeah, that was like FBI. Open up. Boom.
No, I know what that was. What do you call a monkey in a minefield? Baboom!
What?
Baboom.
Alright, your mic. You stream it
out?
live. It cuts out on Discord, it won't cut out.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, okay.
It's a noise cancellation thing.
I'll say it for you. Baboom.
Baboom.
Baboom, yeah. Right, Demon R is into the pits. That's alright, in the pit. Okay, is that going to be? Is it going to be for slicks? I mean, look at how wet it's still out there.
Well, look at these two looking for wetness on the other side of the trip. Oh, is SGP going to get a run out the corner here? Steve F1's tight. SGP's tried to take that more straighter line, get a bit of run. I thought he was going to have a wee look up there.
I think the drier line, I think it's ready for slicks. It's David R coming out of the pits.
Because the SRI's on hards. It flashed the SRI hards. I don't know what Demon R's on.
SRI's got hard on.
Yeah.
Kirsty, leave him
That's
alone.
why he's got so many hits.
Now, interestingly, these guys wet tyres, but yeah, look at the moisture content on the drier line where these guys are. Yeah, that bit's ready for slicks. But if you go off that line, you're in danger. And for Demon R and SRI, if they are on the slick tyre, which I believe they are, overtaking could be very difficult here. There's the two intermediate tyre runners making their way down towards the hairpin. We saw a bit of contact between the two of them down here. Nelly not returning the favour. Critical doing it, maybe himself. I think there's a name for that.
All by myself.
Don't worry, Pam's here.
I want him.
Don't.
Oh.
Okay, Steve F1's just ran a little bit wide. SGP will get a run on him. Although SGP looking for the water. Steve F1 got wide. He's okay though.
Yeah, the line SGP took, you lost quite a bit of space to Steve F1.
Absolutely. The thing is that I don't know if these guys' tyres are going to do many more laps. But I mean, we're not really seeing. Okay, on the pack cam we've got SRI and Steve F1 is heading to the pits. Obviously, those that are already on the slicks are going to have done quite a few more laps as Nelly headed to the pits. I think Critical will be going as well.
And pack cam, is that Artpal? Yeah, Artpal went wide. I don't know the corner, but then it's like the first base ball.
Yeah, that's corner. Jimmy gone deep. Jimmy, I still not confirmed, but I do believe he is on the Racing on tyres. Demon R definitely is. Retakes the lead of this race as Steve F1 slots into the pit lane. Okay, weather radar looking nice and clear at the moment. And Formula Gary's in second place, but I think he's on a wet tyre.
Yeah, I think he is. And, we'll see if this. Oh, sorry, I didn't see what happened.
Pack up! Oh! Yeah, that's the secondary part of it. SRI now trying to make a move on. Gary will comment on what SGP just did in a moment. Yeah, so this is where if Gary is still on the wet tyre, he could be really mean to SRI and basically take up the dry line and say, if you want to pass me, you're going to have to go on the wet bit, which won't work. But look at that weather radar.
There's a wee teardrop. And SRI's eye stuck behind Gary.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Jason, I thought you got a little bit.
Oh, is that just sweat?
It could be, yeah, it's just a bit of sweat. Yeah, so this is a situation where we've seen previous races where the drivers need to not get too confident, because if you start using curbs, one of them could quickly bite you.
Yep. Jason on the back of Gary here. Gary! Oh, there he is.
Ooh.
Oh, Twilight!
Did he say
Twilight had nowhere. He's still there. Steve F1's went round the inside. No, Twilight's very slow.
He is. I think he ended up on the wet bit and he's on the racing hard, so I think he kind of had to sort of back out of it to not end up spinning. It's Critical now trying to make a move on Gary. I think Gary's wet tyres are dead, and that's why he's just plummeted from second place to not in the top 8. I mean, what would his reason be for continuing on fairly knackered tyres, right?
Ooh, Nelly, what was that? I just seen Nelly fly past Steve F1.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the question again? Oh,
Gary's tyres. Why would you go? Why would you stay out on them if for an extra lap if they're already pretty dead?
I don't know. I don't think he's got common sense.
Well, maybe it's because he was thinking, I'll do one less lap on the slick tyre and have better tyres later on in this race.
No, if they're dead, then get rid of them. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
critical, a wee bit of
Oh, he ain't saving that.
nature. Yeah, he put SGP on the wet, and then he went on the wet himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rich with a big wobble. Oh, Steve F1's had a moment as well.
yeah, they're all having moments.
Yeah. Looking on the pack
Oh,
cam.
they
Go on. Go,
they
go, go,
won't
go.
like this time outside on the wet. Oh, I think Steve F1's backed out, but
Yeah.
Rich is still there.
He is. Can he keep it in there? I think he can. I mean, this is one of the brilliant things about this type of weather condition. Someone in Richard's position who may not be as fast as SGP or Steve F1 can make life difficult for them. SGP having a look. Please stay on that dry bit, Rich. He has, and he's. Oh, I thought he was going to hold on to the position.
Yeah. That wind speed's climbing and climbing. It's going to be monsoon soon.
It is, yeah. That was a nice move by Steve F1.
I think Rich backed out of SGP, and Steve F1 just went, I've got no kids, I can go for it.
Yep, yep. It does. Oh, Steve F1's on the wet bit. No, let's not look at Nelly. Oh, Steve F1. He was that. Oh, whoa! Bye, Nelly.
Well, let's look at Nelly.
Yep. Okay, so SGP right behind Steve F1, battling up towards the chicane. Right behind them is Hay and Rich Blues. Let's not forget though that Steve F1 and SGP have probably got the fresher slick tyres, other than Gary and Art Power, who are at the back. Is that Rich trying to make a move on Hay? It is.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to. The dry line looks big enough for side by side on the cars, so I thought he was going for it, but he's not. He's not there yet. Just want to see it, but see there, just where Hay and Rich are, it thins a bit, so it might catch people out.
Absolutely, yeah. We're in that road to the Rich.
Oh.
Tried to go around the outside, got a bit of contact, don't know who caused it, and off into the damp patch he goes as critical. Gets sideways. Now, regarding the championship at the moment, DVR leading this race. If it stays like it is, he's going to win the championship. There he is. His tyres are not looking too bad. He's been on them since I don't know when. Lap 7, I think. So 3 or 4 laps. SRI's got a bit more wear in his tyres, I think. So the question now, I suppose, is going to be, if there isn't any more weather, are these tyres going to get to the end?
We got
12 laps
12,
including this
13.
one. Oh, Jason!
Oh, Jason.
Oh, I wonder if in Sweden they flat pack gravel tracks. Holy cow! I was taking a drink and this Rich comes sideways through the shot and nearly just spat my drink all over my computer.
Oh, well done to keeping a hold of that. That looked the vicious one.
It did, yeah, it did. He's done very well there. Okay, so we've got Twilight running in 3rd place at the moment, ahead of Steve F1 and SGP. And oh no, oh that's all right. Big spin of Rooney. Just as Twilight went to big, we could have big changes here. We could have little changes. Oh, I got Steve F1.
SGP's got Twilight.
Yeah, but Steve F1 was ahead of SGP.
Oh, we missed something.
Yeah, we've definitely.
Camera man,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Then you get a new one.
Well, no, don't say that. I don't have to do that. I bet you don't either. Okay, so yeah, that's SRI's got away with one there, hasn't he? He's had a big spin, but still in 2nd place. It's not going to help his championship fight, but yeah, SGP getting ahead of Twilight Steve F1. That could help his fight if he can catch SRI and DVR. Who knows? But what we have got now is right behind Twilight is a rather large group of cars.
Yep, yeah. Here, please. far back from Steve F1. Half a mistake, and they'll be there, but Steve F1's on the back at Twilight coming up to the hairpin. I lost where we were.
Yeah.
Oh, he's wide!
Oh, Steve! Oh, I was going to say that for Twilight it'd be so... Oh, dear! Oh, dear!
I bet Steve's wet after that one.
Yeah, code wet, code brown, wet, brown. Okay, I'm not sure if Demon R's tyres are going to make it to the end. I think because 10 laps to go, including this one. I don't know. It could be close. Okay. I was going to say for someone like Twilight, who's currently now trying to cool his tyres down. After going deep at the chicane and making a bit of a boo-boo, and same for SRI, and now Steve F1, you're going to be hit. Oh, Jason! Whoa! Oh, Richard!
He did take Rich as well.
Yeah, Richard with reset.
Rich and Critical get reset as well. Oh, SGP's in the pits.
Yes, so is Jason, I believe. And I mean, the pit lane entry still looked very, very wet. Yeah, again, unfortunately, with the camera angles not being the greatest around here, didn't really get to see exactly what happened in that chicane. So we've got a bit of weather on the radar, but I don't think it's really coming over to this direction.
I'll keep an eye on it. I think it's going.
Whoa! Big off
north
for
to
critical.
South to north. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry, I was too busy looking at the weather radar, even though it's on the same screen.
Yeah, I don't know if there was contact between Gary and Critical. No, I don't think there was, because Critical was a long way off before Gary was off. I think maybe they both caught the water, and someone behind Artpal is off. That'll be Hay, having a bit of a moment. But yeah, so yeah, with these camera angles, it is difficult at times to like really spot where you are on the track. Nelly, that's not going to work. Oh, he manages to rejoin safely. See, Steve F1, that's how you do it.
F1 came back safely.
Right in front of Critical.
I thought Critical went into him.
I don't know. Oh, Gary's binned it! I would rewind to that one, but if I do that, we'll have to start commentary all over again. Okay, so yeah, not many laps left in this race, and as a reminder, folks, as Artpal closing in on Twilight, Twilight will make this difficult for him. So yeah, you can have a little bit of dry line, but not all of it. Yeah, you might want to look at the weather radar, right?
Yeah, there's something coming straight up the middle.
That there is, side by side to it. Chicane, is the racing line wide enough? It is just. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? Looking at how that other cloud sort of went on the radar, I think that cloud may make contact with the racetrack. Okay, so drama.
The racetrack, did you say?
The racetrack.
I thought you said crack.
Not race crack, no. That's a new version of Code Brown. Okay, oh, SRI's wide. You've got to be careful. Manages to get back on. Okay. Yeah, that cloud is definitely going to be encroaching on the circuit. But as we said before, that light blue only means potential rain clouds. There's a little bit of yellow in there, Ray, and all the drivers should be looking at their radar at this point. Working out, okay, what am I going to do? If it does rain, are we in the pits or do we carry on?
Well, if they don't know that there's a weather radar, a wind radar thing, do you think they know what a weather radar is?
Well, I would hope so. We've told them a few times. There's windscreen wipers going, it's raining.
Who's that? We're on board with? Demon R?
Yes.
Oh, yep. Artpal.
Oh, it's pitching it down at the hairpin. Oh, yeah, halfway round. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
gone.
He's gone. Unsafe leaving of the track. Okay, we've got Steve F1 headed down towards that hairpin now as well. With SGP, can they get it stopped? Yes, they can. But bear in mind, they will have had a bit of a verbal warning, won't they, as the other drivers are going, ah!
Yeah.
So Demon are on the pack cam still, not going towards the pit lane. So, and looking at the weather radar, right, it might not rain again, at least for a little while.
I don't know. It's not finished yet.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. We've seen in races so far this season, drivers stay on the slicks in fairly heavy rain conditions and be slow. Oh, as Hay takes the back of Jimmy, but it's all right. I think we're about to get another big downpour in a moment.
The thingies are going. Wipers on SGPs at the chicane.
I thought that might happen. Oh dear.
Was he going for the pits?
He was. The thing is, what you might not have noticed is that Jimmy was also trying to get into the pits and went straight on. Oh, that car's gone straight on at turn 1.
A chin down.
Oh, it absolutely is. I was going to say Richard made it. He's got around the corner just. This is like watching the Nurburgring F1 race where they all beat near turn 1. We've still got slick tyres on these guys. Oh, dear.
Twilight pitted. I don't know what he's went for, but Twilight has pitted.
He's got to have gone for the intermediates. If you pitted now, it's got to be for the inters. Ooh, cheeky look up the inside. Oh, he's got it done. Now, interesting, SGP's on very fresh. Racing hard time. I think he...
Oh, look, red.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I think SGP has pitted recently. I think Steve F1 might have done as well because they were much further up the road, I'm sure. Yeah, so Steve F1's got very fresh slicks as well. So maybe they were thinking that the slicks wouldn't get to the end anyway, but also in a damper condition like this, the fresher slicks will benefit, but it's pitching it down. Bye, Rich. Hi, Rich.
Oh, he's saving it. He saved it again.
Nicely done. Okay, so it isn't absolutely pitching it down, but it's definitely getting wetter.
It's raining. The wipers are gone. So
yeah, it's really raining at this bit. Oh, bye, Greco.
It's other way.
Yep.
Other way.
No.
Your other left. Your other left.
Keep left, left, right, left.
I don't think he was looking at his track map.
I think you're right. SRI on the pack. I'm heading to the pit lane. Can he get it slowed down, or will he do what Hay did and headbutt the barrier? No, he gets in. He's getting out. Demon R carried on. Okay, so we've got Rich Blues here on Racing Hard tyres with Hay ahead of him on Racing Hards. Jimmy we saw try and get to the pits earlier. I don't know if he's been back. Oh, it's hammering it down here. They've got to be going for inters here, haven't they? Got to be.
They've got to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars in the pit lane.
Everybody just followed it.
Well, if they have, that might have killed his boost. There is SRI. Nelly, SGP there on the Racing Hard tyre. I didn't get to see if SRI is on the inters. I mean, if the slicks weren't going to get to the end, I mean, maybe he has gone for Racing Hards, but I don't know.
Look at that weather. Look at the. Well, these are coming out of the pit, so we don't get a true reflection of how wet it is.
Well, Rich is on the full wet tyre. That kind of gives you an idea of how wet it is, but I don't think it's wet enough for that. But if that red hits, okay.
I don't know. The window wipers are still going. I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's down sideways.
Oh,
it's
dear.
as if you were in Scotland.
Jason on the pack cam, got a bit wide at the hairpin, but he's okay. He may have pitted. SGP! Oh, Steve F1! Oh, yeah, the rain is definitely coming down heavy there, and Nelly is still on Racing Hard tyres, but I think there's another blob of red appearing, Ray. Oh, dear.
Oh!
There's another
That
Bobber Brown appearing.
Oh, let me go and grab my fucking teeth. That cameraman jumped
Whoa!
over Haley's
No!
car to get a good shot.
Oh, critical!
Oh,
Holy cow!
Jesus!
Oh, wow. You know what? Seeing all this, I'm not surprised the drivers have sort of pitted for
Demon Earth
intermediates.
in the pits.
Yeah,
Demon Earth went for the pits.
that's. And here's Hay making a move on Twilight. I don't know what tyres Twilight is on. This is too much to keep up with, but Hay's making moves. If he catches, well, we know SGP's on the slicks. Okay, what can you do? Hey, SRI down the main straight. Demon R is on his way out of the pits already. And looking at the weather radar, the rain is going to be ending.
Oh. How's that going to work for? Well, it depends how fast they can go. Oh, it's going to get a spinner down the straight.
Is that Nelly?
Oh no! No, I think it's Twilight.
It might have been. It's very difficult to tell. Okay, as we know from earlier, Rich Blue's on the full wet tyre. Always surprised if he can easily make a move on SGP here. Yeah, he does. What a move.
The track's going to be still damp. It might be just a little bit too damp for the wet. Definitely down into this hairpinny thing it was a bit too wet. So you can see it creeping up and down. Well, Rich is all over the place. So but you can see it's still up. Yeah, he's got the grip, but how long's that grip going to last, and how far up the road can he get?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then these guys changing back to the racing hards. I've got the fresher tyres than Steve F1 and SGP.
Yeah, I mean this will be a kind of key moment where if SGP and Steve F1 suddenly start going faster than Jimmy, Jason, I didn't see what tyres he was on then, my hand was in the way. Yeah, if they start going faster than Rich Blues, then they'll know that, right, okay, the dry line's working for them again. But they can't put a foot on the damp bit, whereas the other guys, they can pretty much drive where they want. But it looks like Jimmy's tyres have already taken a bit of punishment. And here comes Gary to put some more punishment on them.
Yeah. What tyres? Is Steve F1 on Racing Hards, or is he at a pit?
I think Steve F1's on Racing Hards. Demon R is back in the pits. Okay, that tells me he's getting rid of the inters and putting slicks on. Okay.
Is SRI? No, SRI's carried on.
Yeah.
Is SRI feeling it's not ready for slicks, but Demon R's saying yeah?
Maybe, or SRI's thinking the only way I can perhaps win this race at the moment is if I stay out. Demon R messes up on his tyres, and SRI's inters work for him. Here is SRI on his inters, and Demon R has come out of the pits on the Racing Hard tyres that go straight off at turn 1. It was very, very wet there, but can he recover? Let's see, half hour's in second, and there's Hay. Okay, this is interesting. So Hay in 4th on intermediates, Rich in 5th on wets.
Yeah, Rich is wet, so yeah, so 25%. Compared to Hayes intermediates, the wets are taking a hit.
Yeah, and you know what? Hayes got a run here. The intermediate tyres is the right tyre for right now, but will it be in one more lap's time?
I think the time he's going to get until the end of the lap, if he, I was going to say, but Demon R's coming back out.
Literally on the pack cam is very busy behind Steve F1. Hay going into the hairpin. Demon R just staying on that drive. So yeah, so Demon R being able to sort of compete through the corners. That suggests to me that the slicks will work if you can keep him on the dry bit. Hay looks like he's backed out of that a little bit, and I don't blame him. He wouldn't want to go under steering. And we've got Rich Blues, I think, on the pack cam, hunting for moisture.
No, we're on Twilight. Oh, but Rich Blues is further up.
Yeah.
SRI's are going to pit.
Yes, he is into the pits. I'm guessing that his intermediates were burning up. Because I think if he felt he could get them to the end, surely he'd have stayed out, wouldn't he?
Yeah. It's Twilight sliding in the background.
Yep.
But he's kept on. He must be on Inters anyway. Nelly was racing her.
Yeah, okay.
Demon R coming. Boost. Demon R coming round the last corner. There's Art Pal. What tiles is Art Pal on?
I think it's either a wet or an inter. Yeah, he's looking for moisture. I don't think we'll see Demon R heading over in that direction. SRI is not out of the pits yet, but it won't be long. But then bear in mind, we did see Demon R. Here he is.
SRI? There he is.
Woo! Can he keep it on the road though? We saw Demon R go straight on door. Coming like a wrecking ball.
Yeah,
He led him back.
I think he's backed out of that one on. Demon Heart had a lead and now he's got SRI up his chuffter.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
Well, that's the thing. Interestingly, it's worked out quite well for SRI because there was a bit of a gap between them, wasn't there? So Demon Heart's kind of stuck behind Artpal. He can't go onto the wet bit, and Artpal's going to be hunting for the damper par. So the pack can still get busy. Okay, Demon Heart might get the move done here, but SRI right there. But also, I think down at turn 1, I mean, okay, SRI coming out of the pits, got a little deep.
Oh. Yeah, is he on the wet stuff though?
He might have been. He lost a bit of time there. I don't think Artpal's got the grip, and he's on the intermediate tyres. I don't think they're going to make the next 3 laps. 3 more laps. He might as well pit now, I reckon. We're not seeing a weather radar, so I don't think there's any more rain coming in. But yeah, so just to touch on SRI coming out of the pits there. If you're in Demon R's position, you surely have got to be prepared for the fact that a car coming out of the pits might not be able to stop, considering that you, the previous lap, couldn't stop.
Yeah. I think Demon R might have had a little kittens there when he seen SRI coming. SRI has got past Artpal, so... Oh, no!
He's got the move done, but he's now under pressure as he gets stream on the damp patch. Yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out as well for anyone that is watching this. We are going to be doing the reveal of what is happening in the next championship regarding the teams at the end of this footage, and after we talk to me. So yeah, hang around for that. SRI then as a cone in the road. Can SRI do anything about Demon R? Because as it stands at the moment, SRI is not going to be taking the championship. Oh, lovely parking on the damp bit.
Yeah. Oh, he's like SGP for
Whoa! He's been hit by Nelly while he's off the track.
I think there'll be some steam in that helmet of SRI's. He'll be fogging up his glasses.
If he's got steam in his helmet, he needs some lubrication. Okay. Sorry, folks. Okay, so there's only a couple of laps left to go. We've now got Demon R, Steve F1, then SGP, then Jason. And oh, wow, can he keep going? Yes, he manages to just get out of the way. That's all right, because round the outside. I was just about to say as well that I find it fascinating that pretty much every driver has struggled with the hairpin at some point in this race. But as we mentioned at the start, this is, I think, the toughest of the tracks we've raced on in wet and slippery conditions.
Yeah, definitely. Track's like itself just had a bit of moisture and it's going to be even more slippery, so yeah. But hats off to them, they are kind of learning it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how many laps it takes somebody to learn something, but different weather
Well,
conditions and what.
one dance. One lap
One dance to learn.
Yeah, one lap dance.
Yeah.
One lap dance to get the job done. Oh dear.
I learned something new. Another lane on the way.
Oh, get this. My mum phoned me up the other day and asked me to trim their bush. In the garden.
Aye.
Yeah. All Twilight's got a bit.
You know why I've just went to that thought after the story you
Well,
told us.
well, yeah. Okay, so we've got this and one more lap to go. Demon R looks like he's opened up that gap a bit too. Steve F1 and SGP. They are on older tyres than Demon R as well, but still battling. I mean, at this moment, if Demon R was to bin it and end up, I don't know, 6th place, we could have a very different end to this championship. Nelly's on quite old racing on tyres. He's got to get some new ones, but they're even more worn out.
I think he was just saying hi to Marshall.
Hi, Marshall. He's still saying hi.
Yeah, I think he wanted to join the Paw Patrol.
He might have done. Okay, so we've got Rich Blues on a fairly fresh set of slicks. Hay on a fresh set. Critical still going on the intermediate tyres. Demon R headed up towards sort of the kink and the final. You know what? Go on.
Weather return.
Ooh! I don't know if that'll reach us though.
Look at the window, it's a different direction.
Well, yeah, that is true. The wind has changed direction. For Demon R though, all he needs to try and do is keep it on the drier stuff for one more lap. And something I was going to mention as well, Ray, is it wasn't that long ago that as admins, we were quite concerned about racing around the Nurburgring circuit because we knew it's a carnage maker. So coming here in the wet could potentially have been a massive risk. But I've got to say, yes, the drivers have been slipping and sliding, but I've got to say, I think they've done a great job in extremely difficult conditions.
Yeah, they've done very well. I was expecting more carnage as we see Art Pal giving Twilight a wee bump in the middle of the corner, but you know, that's expected some of the time. It's just Art Pal's driving.
Yeah, just a little bump in the corner. Yeah, so this battle's still going on then. Twilight trying to fend off Art Pal and Jimmy, who is right there. You know what? That weather cloud is coming over a little bit, but there's only half a lap to go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Jason! Oh, no, he's plummeted! And considering that the standings of this championship will affect the next one, the last thing a driver needs to do now is plummet down the order. Oh, Nelly!
Yep.
Oh, they survive.
Oh, Jason's going to switch back.
Oh, he's not quite got the run though, as Demon R is heading down the back straight. We've got a car in the pits, and Art Pal had a wobble. Go on.
Twilight's gone. It was in front of Art Pal when Art Pal hit the wobble and Twilight went.
SRI's in the gravel. He's survived and he's got a gap. He's all right. But yeah, I didn't see Twilight. I was looking at the back cam. Oh dear. Okay, what have we got? Oh, Nelly's had a moment. It's all happening. Maybe they're looking at that radar. As Demon R comes round the final corner to take the victory. It'll be the championship as well. Steve F1 going to cross the line in second place. SGP in third with a little spinneroo. Oh my god, I'm going to get sick. Holy cow, that's an epic crossing of the line. SRI fourth on the back cam. They're still fighting. Go on.
That's dangerous driving.
Yeah, it is. It's unsafe staying on the track. Okay, as the drivers cross the line, Nelly got a bit of a run on Twilight, but no more time to get across. There's Rich Blues, and it was critical in the pit lane. Looks like a retirement from the race then. So although the graphics aren't very good here, or the visuals aren't very good, we have a close-up look at Malteser man. Demon R takes the Wevo Championship, making it now 12 gold stars and 1 silver. I've got to say that I feel for SRI. If Demon R weren't here, his mum had to be a bike. But if Demon R wasn't in this championship, SRI may have won the championship, Ray.
I don't know, because SJP was ahead of him coming over the line. I don't know how the points work out in that. I keep forgetting.
That is true. But then, if Demon R wasn't there and SRI had won the races that Demon R won, may have been different. But it wasn't. But what we can do though, Ray, is have a look at the confirmed race result, because there haven't been any reports placed. And I do want to talk a little bit about that in a moment. But before we do, just a quick reminder, folks, we are going to do the teammates reveal after we've had a look at the championship standings for this season. Okay. Now, I am hoping as well to clip it into a short video, but you might as well just stay around and watch it here. Watch it here first. So, Ray, race results.
Yeah, they were good, weren't they?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it was. It was good. Yeah. So, I mean, we said during the race, it's a difficult track. At the best of times, it's a difficult track in those conditions. And I think most of the sort of spins we saw were actually kind of self-inflicted. And it may look, some people might go, oh, look at them, they're crap, they've all gone off in the same corner. Well, when you're on slick tyres and all of a sudden you hit a wet corner, if you've braked a touch late, there's only one place you and all the people behind you are going, and that's into the gravel. Yeah, so
And also the pushes down when you are at the braking zone of a dry-ish track and you hit the brakes, then it pushes down, you just go, whew.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to remember as well that, yeah, you might be on the dry bit, getting into suddenly pushing it down, but it might have been pushing it down for the 2 minutes it's taken for you to go from that point round the lap and get back there. So, yeah, it's, yeah, scary times sometimes, but well done to Demon R. Steve F1, hello? Hello? Is somebody at the door?
In what second place?
Yeah. Had a very interesting battle with SGP pretty much throughout the whole of that race, didn't he?
Yes, but I think they both had offs and that kind of kept them together.
No, that is true, yeah.
Steve friends.
Steve friends.
Together forever.
So,
I want to show you
I hope you didn't sing
my
on Friday
orange
night.
hood.
Okay, so SGP, yeah, third place, as we said. A lot of action between the two Steves. SRI's had a very up and down race there. Unfortunately, with a few spins in there, wasn't quite able to take the win. But I do think went to the intermediate tyre at the right time, and actually came off them at potentially the right time as well, because he managed to close the gap down to Demon R. So yeah, I mean, if he'd have pitted the same lap as Demon R, he would have come out the pits behind him, and they both would have gone off at turn one at the same time. But yeah, so unfortunate for SRI, great season for him. Art Pal, 5th place. I don't know what you say about that.
Oh, it's a fantastic place. Looked like he'd got a good race. He was in the battles, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Seen him quite a few times.
Yeah. Jason, another driver, had a couple of offs. And probably heading into that last lap, didn't think he'd be finishing 6th. But at one point, he was ahead of SRI. So yeah, sort of good bits and bad bits, but overall, I think he's done really well. Jimmy to end up in 7th place there, as probably means he's notched off 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th and 13th. I'm only joking. But yeah, Jimmy, go on.
Yeah, it's because he kept it in that lean mode, so the tyres wouldn't spin up and he wouldn't spin.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I don't know if any of the drivers have done it in this championship. It's not something we've really talked about. In that we had fuel burn on, and by having that on, it allows the engine settings to be available. So, like, turn your engine richer or leaner. And for drivers that may be struggling a little bit in very wet conditions, you can turn your engine down. Yes, you save fuel, but you can have a lot less wheel spin. So if Jimmy was leaning it, it may have benefited him. But maybe some of the
Yep.
drivers didn't even know it was a possibility. But that's why we've done
Well,
again. That's why we've done this championship.
it does get cold leading Jimmy.
Well, that is true. That's what Richard's wife calls him anyway. Formula Gary, 8th place, great result for him there. Gary has probably had the toughest of championships, and not because of what happens on the racetrack, just because of
No,
updates.
he done. He done a good update to finish 8th, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's attended 7 races and only been able to race in 4 because the others had updates. But yeah, he's done really well here. Hay in 9th place. He was much further up for quite some time. I think he might have made a late pit stop for slick tyres. Actually, you know what? Hay would have been one of those that went. He was on the Inters and would have had to make the switch to slicks late on. So yeah, but I think Hayes had a really good championship overall. I think it's his highest championship finish actually. This will be.
Yeah, and he has been practicing the guys on a Thursday night, so yeah, you might wonder why we're doing comms on a Thursday night and not practicing. End of the season. So he'll have a wee bit more knowledge of how the rain and the drying process and then getting wet again.
Yeah.
But that sounds like him and his like drying and getting wet again.
Well, one of the things I can think, I mean, when people have been entering the lobbies for the races and perhaps asking, oh, I wonder how long the inters last on a dry track. Hay has the answer.
Yeah.
And that
4
just
laps.
Yeah. The inters will do this many laps. The wets will do this many laps, and that's because he's done it. And it's things like that that are a huge benefit. So even if you can only get on for practice for 10-20 minutes, it's worth doing because you will learn something. Even if it's hearing, oh, the slicks have only lasted 10 laps in practice. Right, okay, well, you can take that on. And I don't think there's ever been a case of someone saying, how long do these tyres last? And them not eventually being given the right answer. Like, sometimes people take the piss, but like if someone came in and like we didn't have any wet tyres and it was dry racing and someone said, how long will the soft tyres last? Someone that's got an idea will give them an idea.
No, it's only Hay. We need to cut him from the league because I think that helped Demon R sometimes as well.
Wow.
I don't know how long the tyres are gonna last, and then he pipes up. Don't last this long.
Well, you know what? Maybe. And I tell you what, whoever is Hayes' teammate in the next championship may benefit from that. It's interesting.
Yeah. They might have a good one, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, no.
Hey now.
Okay, Twilight.
I think it's over.
Twilight in 10th place.
Twilight.
Yeah,
he had a great race at Gardens. He won it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Gardens.
Yeah.
But it just shows you the luck of the draw of maybe going for the intermediates because that's what he went for. He went for the intermediates.
Yeah.
I think a lap or two after critical, and that helped him at Garden. So Twilight's he's had some surprising races.
I mean, I don't know if he went for the inters here, but it's one of those things. Had the track stayed a little wetter here, those intermediate runners would have ran away with it, I reckon.
I
because
think he did, because he pitted back in.
that's
See
right. Yes.
what he pitted on.
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah. I think you remember. I remember you saying he pitted quite late on. But yeah, so it's one of I think going to the intermediate tyre has been the right decision for drivers to make. If you make it early enough, so you can do 2-3 laps on them, because you'll make the time back that you've lost in the pit lane and some. If you make the decision a bit too late, it punishes you, or if you make it way too soon, it punishes you, or if you're unlucky and the track does really start to dry up, it yeah, you gain to begin with, but then you end up having to go back into the pit. So, but yeah, it's all part of wet racing. And Twilight, I think, has had a really good championship. Nelly in 11th place. He hung on to his slicks for quite a long time, I believe. I don't think he went back to the Inters. And unfortunately, dipping wheels has cost him there as he went to go and say hello to the marshals.
Yep. Yeah. I think it was.
Well,
No, and badly just I think it was like, always doing my practice. He's always there, thereabouts, and yeah, down in 11th. I don't think he'll be happy with that. I think he just the tyre choices caught him out, and yeah, but
yeah, I think overall
we
he's had
don't
a
know
good
where he
championship,
finished.
though, hasn't
Yeah, I don't think he's. I think when the championship, actual championships results, he'll be happy. I've not seen them yet, so, but I know he's been higher up than 11th
he? Yeah, absolutely.
quite a few times. So, yeah, we all have our moments there, don't we, Demon?
That is very true. Rich Blues, 12th place. He put the wets on towards the end, and it worked for him until it wasn't wet enough for them. So massively unfortunate for Rich, but I think Rich has shown some really good racing in this championship, and he would appear to have thoroughly enjoyed racing in these kind of conditions. And at the end of the day, that's the main thing you can really ask for, isn't it? If you're getting involved in things like this, the main thing is to just try and enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter what position you finish. Now, for some people, where you finish depends on how happy they are. You will enjoy it a lot more though if you can do it the other way round. But yeah, I think Rich has had a very interesting championship, because he's had some races where he's been making very good overtakes on intermediates or wets on sort of
I
championship
don't
winning
know.
drivers.
He might be depressed because he's finished behind Jimmy once again, even
Well,
on Monday when Jimmy's not there. You know, he always finishes behind Jimmy as well.
I'm not saying anything. I know what you're getting at. Okay, let's quickly move on
Yeah,
to critical Sam. Okay, so
Rich. Let me
uh,
finish on Rich.
oh,
Rich has
go
been
on.
fantastic. It was great to see him in the battles and whatnot, and yeah, he's always my #1 improved driver.
Okay, right. So on
His
that
wife made me
passive
say that.
aggressive comment, but yeah. So critical then. Yeah, retired to the pits with a few laps to go. Now, there was an interesting bit of a conversation between the admins about whether that should put critical as classified or not, and there was a few differences of opinions, and we've come down. I can't remember if we agreed it, but it's down as not classified. Um, and I think the reason I would give is that if we didn't ask people, or like if someone was getting frustrated or they weren't enjoying the race, and they were like, you know what, I'm just going to give up, right? At that point, they would normally just exit and leave, which would mean they would score no points. But one of the things that we ask drivers to do is, if you do get to that point where you know what, you're really not enjoying the track or the car, and you don't, or you're just having a mare, so you want to park it, instead of quitting, go and park in the pits, don't change your tyres, and just leave the car there. Now, we do that so that it doesn't affect the boost. So if the boost has been one way for 98% of the race, if someone leaves, it affects the boost levels and can alter things potentially unfairly. So we ask drivers retire to the pit lane and wait there. So for me, you don't get classified because technically you've retired from the race. And if we didn't ask people to not leave and go to the pits, then they potentially could leave and they wouldn't score points. But Critical's had an interesting race here, though, I think, because for a track that he doesn't like, he was well in the battles, well on the pace, at least of the guys at the head of the pack. And one thing we've said to many drivers is if you don't like a track, rather than not driving it, drive it. It's the only way you learn it. And it's the only way you can come to like a track.
Yeah, definitely, because what if there's 3 or 4 tracks you don't like, and the admins pick the tracks. Well, they won't know what tracks you like or don't like, and they pick the tracks, and that's 3 or 4 races but you're gonna just go in the pits. So yeah, he done well to go through all the laps that he did, and then I think it was the second to last or last lap.
A couple of laps
just
ago,
parked it. I just kept going, even if you're going slow around the track, and just figuring out. Although it was a wee bit wet at the sides, but you could still figure out different ways going around the track. And
might be a different braking point, or taking a corner differently and learning a new. Because I think, if I remember rightly, I remember him saying there isn't a rhythm to this track.
Yeah.
And I get that, but at the same time, I disagree. So what I would say is, if you don't like this track, it can be horrible, and it can seem like there is no rhythm to the track. But when you actually get more used to it, there is a rhythm to the track. And when you've got that rhythm to the track, it completely changes how you go about racing around this circuit. Because, like I say, there is a rhythm to it. There was another track that I used to say this about as well. I can't remember which one it was. I know there was a track that quite a few drivers sort of struggled to get the rhythm of. Off the top of me, I can't remember what it is, but yeah, there are sometimes Marmite tracks. You hate them until you find what its rhythm is, and Nurburgring does have a rhythm. You just have to find it.
Yeah, and also, I think he gets too hard on himself. Not as in a hard on, but he gets hard on himself. And I think we need to find out who his wife is. Get her to buy him a butt plug, so every time he gets hard on himself, she presses a button and it vibrates in his head.
Every time she hears him go, "That's my race over."
Ooh,
hello.
Okay, let's go.
It could be worse. Oh God.
No,
Is this what
think,
Kirsty's done with you? Is that why you've improved as a racing driver over the last year?
No, I don't know what's happened. Maybe stuff has just started to click. You know, you get to that point. You have so many bad things, and then I wouldn't say bad things. You have
you learn from your mistakes.
Mistakes, yeah, and then you start trying to be consistent, and then you try go faster and be consistent. But yeah, I think but the one thing critical kind of has to work on is just not be so hard on himself. It's a game. It's for fun. Just try and enjoy it. I know he's quite. The way he comes across is quite on point. Stuff has to be on point. Just like Art Pal, if you want to do fun races, what's the point of that?
Yeah, yeah, for
You
fun.
get,
But yeah,
you
the
get
thing,
what I mean?
yeah, the thing, yeah, I do, yeah, the things as well. Just one of those things. As okay, so for someone, for anyone trying to drive around a track like the Nurburgring, if you're not feeling the rhythm, you haven't found the rhythm, then what you're having to do is think about what you're doing. And the problem with that is that when you're thinking about what you're doing, you don't really find a rhythm and you struggle to go fast because you're thinking about what you're doing. The speed and the rhythm comes from getting to the point where you don't have to actually think about what you're doing, you just do it, and then you're able to open your eyes to other things that are happening. Some people may not understand what I'm on about there, but I'm trying to think.
Well, for an example, uh, if you have to think your breaking point, you're looking for the breaking point markable, so you're going right 200. I need to break 2, 3, go break. But once that you've got that right, I break at this point. You kind of get to right. I'm breaking here, and it's only when you miss that breaking point you go, "Oh shit, that's a bit late."
Yeah, but the thing
Type
is,
thing.
yeah, but the thing is as well, like as you said, if you're looking for a break markable, right? Okay, there's 200, right? Okay, we're breaking 1, 2. You're doing that, and then you hit the brakes, and you go, oh, okay, the car in front of me braked a bit earlier. Now I've hit them, because you were focusing on that other stuff. Whereas when you then find, okay, peripheral vision, I'm braking at this point, I'm turning at this point, and you're not having to think about those things. Now you can focus on that car in front and look and go, oh, he's missed the apex a bit, or he's got a bit of a wobble on, or he takes a different line through this corner, and you can like I say, focus on those finer details, and it can take a while to happen, but that's where experience comes in. But it's a bit like, okay,
How
somewhat
long have we been racing in this league?
a few years now,
How many in total?
6
Yeah,
more,
it's
and
got to
it
be
might
6
be
years.
more actually. I mean, 6 years is 2019 when COVID started. It was before that.
We started way before that.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll get on to the confirmed standings in a moment as Ray's trying to work out how long it's been since the GT League started. But I was going to say, it's a bit like you take someone that is very, very good at playing the guitar. They don't have to think about what they're doing. They've done it so many times it comes naturally. So like I don't know, the lead guitarist of well, let's take Slash for example. I doubt very much Slash has to think about what he's doing to play one of the songs that they wrote 30 years ago. But when they first wrote it, I bet he had to sit there for quite some time going, right, okay, yeah, this works, that doesn't work. Oh, okay, I'll keep missing that bit. But after a while, doesn't even have to think about it. And that's why he can play while smoking a joint with his hair all over his face. But anyway, right. Have you found out how long it's been?
2018.
2018. Wow.
2018.
Oh, good 7 years.
And then, yeah, it took 7 years for it to click for me. That's a fucking
Oh,
long
all
time.
right. And in that time, you've had how many babies? Okay. Right, let's take a look at the Confirmed Championship standings, shall we? Because, as we mentioned, this is going to have a direct effect on the next championship, and we have just waffled for over 20 minutes. So, Confirmed Championship standings then. Demon R takes the championship on 146 points. SGP jumps SRI by 1 point. So with SGP finishing third and SRI finishing fourth, I think it was. Yeah, SGP jumps up to steal second place. SRI in third on 135 5 points. Steve F1 with a valiant sort of fight back over the course of the championship. 19 points off the lead, but closed the gap up a bit to SRI and SGP. 4th place for him. Nelly, as you mentioned, Ray, he's had a good championship and he shouldn't be disappointed when he sees the standings, because he is in 5th place on 86 points. Now, okay, there is a bit of a gap between the top 4 and Nelly, but Nelly has done extremely well to beat the drivers that are below him. Twilight in 6th place on 84 points. Now, just bear in mind as well, I don't know if the positions have changed much. I think they have a little, but they would have been changed loads. Say again?
I'm just checking from last. I'm just checking from last race. Yeah. So Nelly 5th. He was 5th. Yeah. Last race.
Yeah. Twilight. What position was he?
6th.
6th. Okay. But if Twilight had been able to sneak a slightly better result at the end, could have potentially pipped Nelly. But Hay in the 7th place on 82 points. Beating Jason, who's in 8th place on 81 points. I mean, we've got 5 points between 5th and 8th.
Yeah, he was 7th in the standings last race. Critical was 8th.
So, yeah, with him not finishing, I mean, even if he'd have finished last, he'd have only scored a couple of points. Jason would still have jumped him. But he very nearly lost out to Art Pal as well. So critical in 9th place on 73 points. And interestingly, I don't know if this has ever happened before. He's 73 points. He's got 73 points, and he's 73 points behind the leader. I don't know if that's ever happened before in our leagues. Art Pal, 10th place, 72 points for him. Again, if he'd have been able to just get an extra position, could have been very different. Now, you mentioned about Rich Blues not being happy because Jimmy finished ahead of him. However, not in the standings. Rich Blues in 11th place on 59 points, with Formula Gary in 12th place on 49 points. Jimmy in 13th place on 42 points. Then we had Bob, who unfortunately wasn't able to make any of the races and will probably turn up next week while we're on a break. Now, we are going to have 3 Mondays off from races. So we've got a few weeks until the next championship. A couple of reasons for that. One, there's a few people away. We want to give ourselves a bit of a break, and we also want to give the drivers and teams the opportunity to have a look at some of the cars before they can make their selections. Now, before we get on to doing that race, is there anything you would like to add about how this particular championship has gone?
Fucking shite. Nah,
yeah.
I'm only kidding. Nah, I don't want to have what was it? Be a sewer plum or something. What was that? That needs to be called me one night. Nah, I think it's been fantastic, and I'm surprised as well at the same time of how little carnage there's been. I know it.
Yeah.
Hats off to the drivers, to be honest with you. It's been fantastic.
Yeah. I think DGT League has always been entertaining to watch, and hopefully people watching this have found it entertaining to watch still, even if the jokes are bad, even if we do swear too much on occasion, even if we do drink too much. But like you, I agree. I mean, with these wet conditions, we could easily have had like multiple times more crashes and incidents than we've had in previous championships, and it hasn't happened. Now, there was one thing I was going to sort of put to you. Obviously, recently we changed the day that we race, and we also changed the length of time the drivers have to put reports in. So obviously we've had very minimal reports in this particular championship, and I'm just wondering whether it's possible that it's because drivers are not forced but aren't that concerned about what's been happening on track, or whether they don't care enough to look at it and see what actually happened and see if a report should be made, or whether
Or they don't have the time.
or they don't have the time. Yeah, because if it is a case of they don't have the time, then maybe that's something we should talk about at some point as admins. Because okay, in an ideal world would never have any reports coming in because they're never needed. But in a realistic world, we should have reports coming in if drivers need to know that they've been making major errors. And I'd rather people put reports in so we can educate drivers more than think, oh, well, I can't be bothered. So I would be concerned about that. So if any of the drivers have got any comments on that, feel free to drop us a message and let us know. But on that, Ray, thank you very much for joining us on commentary.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you to all the drivers, like I say. Fantastic. I love it. I love to see everybody progressing. Thank you to the admins behind the scenes doing their bits and whatnot. It's what gives me my daily break from life.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that either. Okay, right. We are now about to do the team's reveal. So I'm just going to share this little video with Raymond so he can see it. And
I thought you'd have said goodbye and then stopped and then.
no, we're going to go straight through, but I'm going to kind of reintroduce this next part so that I can, edit it easier. So let me know when you've got it up.
Oh, what about the video?
Well. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I have it on my screen now. So let me know when you're ready, and I'll do us a little countdown to play.
Is it ESV1? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, so the bit that all the drivers have been waiting for, that they've been bugging us and asking loads of questions. Let's see if we can answer a few of them now. So, if we get ready to press play, Ray, in 3, 2, 1, play. Hello everybody, welcome to Dynamic GT League's teammates reveal for the next championship, the Teams with a Twist series. You can currently see the standings and, oh, we've got changes and colours. Now what could that mean? Well, we're going to split these up a little bit more. Okay, on the left we've got yellows and on the right we've got whites, and on the left all of those drivers have a championship of either gold or bronze or brown, and we can even see how many championships they have. So let's maybe we should put them in the numerical order. And there we go. So we've got Demon R, Steve F1, SGP, Twilight, Jason, DE, SRI, 2 Brown, Bob, and Conroy. Okay, so Demon R gets paired up with Nelly. No, he doesn't, because we're going to switch the order around. So Bob gets paired up with Nelly then, does he? No. Bob is not going to have a teammate due to low attendance. And then we're going to have a champion paired up with every non-champion in the order that they finished the last championship. So on the screen, as we can see, the choice of manufacturers in the list as well. And also you'll notice that there's dedicated cars for the drivers. Now, Ray, if we pause it on this final picture, you might not notice the final picture, but the one that's got loads of information on with the Group 3 and Group 4 drivers, and then we can talk through it in a little bit more detail in case anybody didn't just follow what has happened there. So, the Teammates Championship is as simple as this. Every champion is going to be paired up with a non-champion. And the champions include the Brown Star champions. The non-champions, in the order of finishing in the championship we've just done, that selects which champion they get paired up with the champions being listed in numerical order of the amount of championships they've got. So we basically have the top rated champion with the lowest point scorer in the last championship being paired up together, and so on. So we've got Demon R and Jimmy, Steve F1 and Formula Gary, SGP and Rich Blues, Twilight and Art Pal, Jason and Critical, SRI and Hay with his information about the tyres, Conrad with Nelly, and then Bob with nobody at the moment. Now, the reason for that is, as we saw a moment ago, because Bob has had 0 attendance in this championship, we do feel it would be unfair to pair a driver that has attended the races with Bob, because if he doesn't attend again, they basically wouldn't have a teammate. Now, one question we may have to answer in a moment is, what if Conrad can't start this championship yet? That may adjust things, but we can talk to Conrad and we can find out for certain. So this is the teams, unless Conrad messes it all up again. Now, the choice of manufacturer, the order of choice is on the left hand side of the screen. So because Jimmy was the lowest finishing non-champion, he gets to pick which manufacturer we use, that team uses. Now, it isn't just Jimmy. Yeah, well, yes and no. Now, it isn't just Jimmy that gets to make the choice. It is the team together that makes the choice. But I know Jimmy wants to use the Jag, because all he could talk about the other day was, I want the Jag, I want the Jag, I want the Jag. So I think I might be driving a Jag. Now, because we've got a bit of time between this video going out and the first race of the next championship, we do not need people's car selections straight away. However, as soon as the first choice has been made, we'll be on to the team for the second choice, letting them know which manufacturer has already gone. So this is where, as a team, it'd be handy for you guys to talk with your teammate, and more than likely for the champion to perhaps suggest which of the cars may suit their teammate, because the Group 3 cars are a little bit lively, shall we say. Yes. So, yeah, some of them the drivers may struggle to get on with a little bit. So, Ray, anything so far?
What's that song for that Group 3 cars? I see you, baby.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Now, there is some additional information we'll come to in a moment. But I'm just wondering, is there anything else you want to add to what we've announced so far, Ray?
What have announced? What you've announced? Should I know information that I should pass on? No. Bloody interesting pairing.
Definitely.
Everybody.
Absolutely. A couple of things to do. Go on.
Oh, no. I think it would be an admin's thing. What if Conrad wasn't ready to race? Well, pardon me.
Well, if Conrad wasn't ready to race, then I did think about this earlier today, yesterday, after I'd edited all of this imagery. There is a way that we can adjust it. So one of the things that we did sort of say is that if there was a driver that was going to be on his own other than potentially Bob, is that it should be Demon R, or potentially if Conrad wasn't able to race, then potentially the next driver who had the worst attendance rate, so the next non-champion driver, that has the worst attendance rate. So let's say, for example, Jimmy's at the bottom of the list here because he only attended 2 races. Well, that would, if that happened again, then that would mean that his teammate would basically be racing on his own for 7 races. So there would be the potential of Conrad like sliding off the board and the champions all moving up one, which could put Nelly with SRI, Hay with Jason, Critical with Twilight, Art Power with SGP, Rich Blues with Steve F1, and Formula Gary with Demon R. But that isn't something that we have discussed as admins. That is just one idea that I have had, and we will discuss those sort of permutations. So, yeah, but this is one of the reasons as well why we said at the very start of this, before the start of this championship will have a direct effect on the next championship. We couldn't tell everybody what it was, just in case someone thought, well, you know what? If I score crap points, I get paired up with Demon R. And we might win. We might then win the championship. So for example, let's say Nelly, he's finished 5th in this championship. If he'd have finished 5th in the last 4 or 5 championships, and then all of a sudden he's down at the bottom, well, hang on a minute. It might not be dodgy. Maybe he didn't like that car. And I'm not saying any of the guys would do that, but we just wanted to take that off the table, didn't we?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, now, a couple more things to mention. There is only going to be one manufacturer, or one of each manufacturer. So, if the first choice is Jaguar, no one else can pick Jaguar. And obviously, as we hinted at, and you can see at the top of the screen, the non-championship drivers will be driving the Group 3 cars. The championship drivers will be driving the Group 4 cars. Extra information, random weather will be on, and it will just be random. There will be a 10-minute qualifying session, and then races will be done on laps, with a special feature race in there. We'll get onto that on another day. But something never done before.
Ooh, special.
Yeah.
Yes, so special.
Now the other things is BOP is still on, and it will match up the Group 3 cars with the Group 3 cars. There are slight differences between them, but that's the characteristics of the cars. The Group 4 cars will be matched up with the Group 4 cars. Again, slightly different characteristics between the cars. Boost will still be on. Now some people might say, well, where's the point of that? You've got a multi-class champion, where's the point? Well, the point is this. Because the Group 3 cars are going to be on the racing hard tyres, and the Group 4 cars are going to be on the racing soft tyres, the Group 4 cars are going to be faster in the corners, but the Group 3 cars decimate all on the straights. But with the boost on, it means that the non-champions could potentially stay within 1 second of a non-boosted Group 3 driver. Doesn't mean he's going to get past them though. But it's definitely going to keep things close. Now we are effectively going to be having two, maybe 3 championships in this, to a degree. There's the Group 4 drivers that are going to be battling against each other. And there's the Group 3 drivers who are going to be battling against each other. And then you've got the teammate points that are going to go together. And that's the main championship, the points that the team scores together. Now, the top Group 4 driver isn't going to score 20 points for a win. The points are going to stay exactly as they are now. So if a Group 3 driver finishes last at 16 cars, they'll get 1 point. If a Group 4 driver finishes 6th, they'll get whatever points is for 6th place. I can't remember what points that is, but that's what it is. And now I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should have mentioned. I don't think there is.
And also the boost, if one of the non-championship drivers spins it and loses loads of pieces, and he can catch back up.
Absolutely, yeah. Not only can they catch back up, they will catch back up to the pack, the Group 4 drivers, pass them all on the straight with ease. And remember, we'll remind this a lot, the Group 3 can pass on the straights easy. Don't try doing it in the corners. You haven't got the grip. But yeah, so they'll be able to get ahead of the Group 4 drivers. And then it's going to be down to sort of their ability. Can they close the gap in onto those other Group 3 drivers?
So we're using tracks that have not got long straights, but lots of corners.
Yeah, loads, yeah. Well, no, there's some long straights. Now, the tracks have been selected, but I'm not going to go through those other than to tell you, you know what? We can tell you that Dragon Trail Seaside, DGT Seaside, is going to be one of the races in the championship. So if you do want to go and practice some of the cars on a track, go and practice there, because we will be racing one of the at least one of the races there. Okay, and we all know that track quite well, so give that a bash. The other thing I would say is as well, and this comes from our F1 time, where one of the reasons why we haven't done teammate championships in the past is because the last thing we want is for on race day for people. So, for example, for me and Jimmy to go, right, Jimmy, let's go and jump in our own chat party. We don't want that. We want the community chat party as it is to stay as it is, rather than teammates going, well, we want to go talk tactics. Here's your tactics. Drive as fast as you
Right.
can. Yeah. Drive as fast as you can. And verbally, if you can give your teammates some assistance, cracking. If you want to practice together, cracking. Oh, hiccups. But we'll still have practice sessions available, and tips and hints and tips will still be available as well.
And take that word, verbal assistance.
Yes, verbal assistance. Yeah. Oh dear. Right. I think we've covered almost everything. Other than actually one more thing. If anybody wants to know, well, okay, how do we manage the tyre situation? What if a Group 3 driver puts on, say, the racing softs? This is not going to be a tyre limited championship, right? You will not need to pit unless it rains. And that's where you then have to make sure that your Group 3 driver is going back onto the right tyre if it dries up again. Because if a Group 3 driver puts a racing soft tyre on, not only will they have to pit to put their racing hard on, their teammate will also have to pit even if they are on the correct tyre. So it is a team penalty for being on the wrong tyre.
What
So
happens if a Group 4 puts on a racing hard?
then they're bloody stupid because it'll just go slower.
Okay, so there's no
There's no
penalty.
There's no penalty for that. The
Okay.
tyres aren't going to last any longer because it's not going to be tyre limited, and they're not going to go faster because they're going to have no grip in the corners. However, if a driver does put the racing hard, a Group 4 driver puts the racing hard tyre, yes, they should pit and put the racing soft tyre on straight away. But yeah, so there you go.
But it's not a team
Penalty.
mandatory.
No. See,
Yeah.
at least I would say that. I mean, the other admins might disagree, but if a Group 3 driver puts the soft tyre on, that's an advantage. If a Group 4 driver puts a hard tyre on, I was going to say something rude, but that's a disadvantage. So yeah. I think if there was anything else that I could really... yeah, somebody mentioned about liveries because I made liveries for the cars. No, you don't have to use the liveries that we made. I just made them for the video, for the reveal video, because some of them are classic liveries and some of them look cool. You can have your own liveries. It would be cool if teams had matching liveries or matching-ish liveries, but if not, that's not a problem. But yeah, so hey, it looks like you're having a purple car.
Yeah. That's alright. SGP can do too.
I'm pretty sure he did say the other day. He says, "I might do you one, but you'd have to do your fucking teammate one." But yeah, so now I know this. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sweet, welcome.
Now I know this kind of reveal has gone on a little bit, and I am going to clip it to a shorter video, but it's still going to be like 20 odd minutes long. But that's because there's been a lot of information to give out, and there is still more information to give. So like details of qualifying, any more details about the races, all that kind of stuff, like what tyre wear is going to be on, what fuel wear is going to be on, and all different things like that. So, and the special race that we mentioned, there's going to be a special race. So yeah, keep an eye out for
Yes,
that.
so special.
Right, now on that, Ray, I think we should finish because we're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. This is now officially the longest ever DGT race video we have ever done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Right, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching, listening. You know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you all again soon.
Ta-da!